Hey everybody, I just want to speak to you today about a book I'm reading by Barack Obama. It's called Promised Land, and this is chapter one. Just a quick review of some of the things, key points that I underlined while I was reading the chapter. So Barack Obama begins the chapter by talking about his memories of walking through the West Colonnade of the White House and how he developed memories of that. That led to his off. That was like a hallway or some part of the White House where he used to walk from the part where he lived at to where the office where he spent most of his day. He also would see people along the way. He talked about his memories of the people who kept the grounds and how hard they worked, and just some other things like that. In that chapter, he also talked about his family. He says he didn't come from a political family. He talked about his grandparents. He talked about his mother, how like his mother kind of gave him a lot of, I guess you would call them things that she believed in life. They weren't necessarily political, but things that stuck with him. Talked about his dad. He talked about how his family, despite financial struggles, they took their money and sent him to one of the best prep schools that they could send him to during his high school time. He spoke about some of his friends and how kind of like they would not believe that he would one day become the president of the United States. He talked about how he developed a love for reading. That was something he loved to do, was read. In 1979, he went to Occidental College. I believe it was his sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken, that he transferred to Columbia University. That's where he he started to develop a philosophy of people coming together to make change, people from different backgrounds and things like that. He started to question his own assumptions about life and things about, like, he started to question things. He developed a philosophy that was kind of different than kind of what's being preached out there, is like that all whites are not racist. In 1983, he got into community organizing. He said he left this because he eventually left community organizing because he wanted to shape the world. He wanted to shape policies and shape budgets. So that's how he kind of got into a bigger political field. He also went to Harvard Law School. Talks about his being inspired by Harold Washington, who was Chicago's first black mayor. Talked a lot about him in there, and how Harold Washington was able to inspire hope. So this kind of inspired him, and this kind of helped along his political career, because that became a big part of his message, is hope, and there is hope. He also talked about how he was elected the first black head of the Harvard Law Review. He was the first black head of the Harvard Law Review. So once again, that was a book called Promised Land, written by Barack Obama, and that was just a chapter one quick summary. Thank you.